are now listening to the IELTS podcast. Learn from tutors and ex-examiners who are masters of IELTS preparation. Your host, Ben Worthington.
Recent speaking cue cards for IELTS Speaking Part 2. Hello there, my name is Ben Worthington, and in this tutorial we're going to dive into recent cue cards seen by our students and sent in, also seen around the internet. These are from the new booklet for this quarter, and obviously, don't memorize these answers, but this tutorial will help you because it'll give you a guide on how to answer them. It'll give you a guide, and afterwards, after each answer, I'll just give you a few tips on what I did and why I did it. And also it'll just get you into, get you accustomed to what a model, probably band 9 answer would sound like. And I'm saying it's band 9 because I am a native English speaker. I speak crystal clear English. I believe I do. Everybody says I do. I'm from the north of England. I no longer have my accent. And that's probably why people clearly understand me. Understand me clearly, better said. And yeah, I got into IELTS because I just like getting results for my students. I specialized in IELTS by making the IELTS podcast the first one at the time, the leading one as well, still, which is really good. And I've been teaching IELTS now for a long time. We got all the experts, and we built the online course, which has the guarantee of jump to band 7 or it's free. So you're in good hands. And if you are struggling, then please get in contact. Join us at IELTSPodcast.com. Sign up, get some free IELTS materials. If you've got a friend struggling, get them to come over as well, and we'll help them. We're getting lots of students passing the exam. Their essays are improving with all the feedback that we give them. So that's IELTSPodcast.com if you want some feedback on your essay, or if you want to improve your work, then have a look at the services we offer. Let's jump into it. Recent speaking part 2 cue card. Recent speaking part 2 cue cards and answers. Model sample answers. Let's go. Describe a story someone told you and you remember. You should say what the story was about, who told you this story, why you remember it, and how you feel about it. Okay, I'd like to tell you about a story that was told to my dad, actually, and my dad later told it to me. The story was when he worked as a greengrocer, and I think, if I remember correctly, they used to put the fruit outside in boxes. And one day, an orange fell out of the box and rolled down the street and just went round the corner. And it came from the shop. But this woman, apparently she left the shop, and she had a bit of a reputation for being a penny pincher. She was a bit stingy. Apparently, she just sort of like discreetly crept down, picked up the orange and put it in her bag and carried on. And my dad told me this story because he said that the person who told him said that he was laughing because the orange was one of these bitter ones that you use for marmalade. It's got a specific use case, these oranges. It's not the sweet, juicy ones. Yeah. And he was laughing because she thought she was winning. She thought she was getting this fruit for free, and she was, but it wasn't exactly what she's expected. It's going to end up really bitter and nasty in her mouth. So I guess I remember this story because it's kind of got a sweet revenge element to it, and for some reason it just makes me chuckle because it kind of goes back to that old rule about karma. So this was almost instant karma. And that's the story, and I hope you enjoyed it. There we go. So I did the usual finishing just to indicate to the examiner I finished my story. I did not follow it so methodically because while I was looking at the cue card, I know that I'd already covered some parts. It was a story told by someone who told it to my dad, who's a greengrocer, and so on. So anyway, there's lots of little details in there, about the type of orange, some decent vocabulary. It's a bitter orange, the sweet revenge or instant karma. Lots of terms in there, all set in the past, and there's a little bit of conditional as well. So when she gets home, she would have found out it was a bitter orange. She could have been set up for a nasty surprise, whatever. So quite straightforward. I took my time. There were parts of the story which did not come clear to me immediately, so I tried to pause while I just thought of them. I tried not to repeat myself. I was to the point, and I'm pretty certain it took around 2 minutes. Next one. Talk about an event you went to that had good food. Include what the event was for, what the food was, and why you liked it. I'd like to tell you about an event that I went to. It was actually an event all about food. In the city where I live at the moment, they have a cake of the year, which it's a national cake of the year, which to me seems a little bit peculiar because in England, my home country, if I remember correctly, we did not really have such a tradition. Anyway, I think this year it was the special cake of the year was a cheesecake, a special type of cheesecake. It might have been pistachio and orange. Cannot remember exactly. And we went specifically because my girlfriend is celiac, and at this event they even had like a celiac gluten-free version of this cheesecake. I think it was even non-dairy as well. So the event, I did kind of enjoy it. I saw lots of foodies there, people who are really into the food. I caught up with a friend I hadn't seen for a while. But it was just, I think the real reason I liked it was because this event was between the lockdowns that we'd had. And so it was just a really enjoyable break to get out of the house, to get out and just to get back to normality. And the food was good as well. It was all right, I must admit. And that's my small talk about an event that had good food, and I hope you liked it. There we go. So I really resisted saying the word nice. I switched it for enjoyable at the last second, just because I hate the word nice. It's just so vanilla. And yeah, this is a real event. This has really happened. And it's so much easier when you're talking from real experiences. I just put in a little anecdote there just for vocabulary, talking about celiacs and gluten-free. That's some higher level topic specific vocabulary. If we're talking about food, I'm going to put that in there. The food was a cheesecake, a vegan cheesecake. These descriptions, these examples, from these descriptions and examples, especially if they're real world from your real life experience, they will automatically force you to give details, and details are usually where the topic specific vocabulary is. Right, last question. Last cue card. Talk about a person who taught you how to do something. Include who it was, what they taught you, and if you can still do it. I'd like to tell you about a coach who taught me how to box. I was living in Spain at the time, and I had my evenings free, and it was something that had always been on my list, and I finally had enough money to spend to do this activity. And so I joined this class, a boxing class, and it was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So it was quite intense. The classes were for 90 minutes, but this guy, I think his name was Sergio, and he taught me how to box. And I was so so bad. My coordination and my fitness, everything was just so bad. But he managed to teach me how to box, and he made me, I wouldn't say competent, but he didn't make me, I'd say he taught me some basics, and I reached my peak, maybe. But they nicknamed me Danger in the gym because I was so bad. But anyway, the tutor, the coach, was extremely competent, was extremely skilled, so much so that I became reasonably good boxer, and I can still do it to this day because I think it came from all the drills that Sergio just put me through and the muscle memory that I built up doing it. And yeah, I think Sergio was probably one of the best coaches I've had. And I went back like a year later to continue, but he had moved on and they had a new tutor, and it just was not the same. So I quickly abandoned it. So that's my talk about somebody who taught me how to do something. Okay, so yeah, maybe wasn't the strongest cue card there. I think my brain's getting a bit tired, in all honesty. However, I did say who it was, I did say what they taught me, and I did say if I could still do it. I used some excellent vocabulary such as muscle memory. Maybe I could have got into the boxing vocabulary, like right, hook, jab, upper, all of this. I did add a little anecdote in there about them calling me Danger or Peligro. Which was all good-natured fun, but I just wanted to add that there, and then I quickly brought it back to Sergio, this tutor, and because that's what the main topic was. I think I maybe drifted by talking about myself too much, but I quickly went back to Sergio and talking about Sergio and how good a tutor he actually was. So that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this brief podcast, this brief tutorial about speaking cue cards. I just wanted to share some sample answers, share some techniques, like, talking about or giving anecdotes about being selective over the vocabulary that you're using, about pausing if you don't know what to say, and just improving. If you can improve your vocabulary while you're talking, like I did a few minutes ago, by avoiding the word nice, then you're on a good track. Now, if you're still struggling with your speaking, remember we've got the Speaking Confidence course, and that's included with our with the whole course bundle, where you get the Jump to Band 7 or it's free, which will help you with your writing, and you get access to the reading course and the Speaking Confidence course. So go to IELTSPodcast.com. You can sign up for our email newsletter and get more IELTS tutorials, more IELTS material, and also discounts for the online course. So have a great day and good luck with your IELTS preparation.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.